Okay, hi, it's John Petter, and we're going to go through how to do a survey flight today. So I have my drone. We've already done a pre-flight check on that, and that's up and connected. I'm going to make sure it's connected to my controller, and my iPad is connected to my controller. We've got lots of different flight plans in here. The first one we're going to talk about here is the survey. So the survey is good for doing orthomosaics on any 2D products.
Right. So from here, let's go ahead and just create an area survey. So the first thing is the plan name. Obviously, this is a quick name in here, but I suggest you do name things logically. On the map, you can see it's found my current location, and what I'm going to do here is because I'm logged in, you can see my entire folder structure from my ArcGIS Online account. And in this case, I'm going to take a look at Building E, which is a building in Redlands. And I've got a map here with some products on that. So I can turn that on, and that actually shows me the building footprint. It also shows an orthomosaic from a previous flight. And I can now use these to plan my mission. So going from here, next I can easily understand where my mission area is and just decide that I'm going to fly this area by simply moving my finger on the screen and drawing the polygon out to this flight zone. So what you'll see happen as I've done that is I've got an estimated flight time at the bottom, the resolution, and the number of acres, how many images and how many batteries that I've actually gotten here. I can change the map underneath to streets or topo. In this case, I've got the topo underneath, but what I'm really doing is using a feature service here to help plan my mission. On the left, I've got altitude, gimbal angle, and hatch angle. So altitude will determine the resolution of your imagery and the number of images that you're going to capture. So I generally recommend flying higher is better because it's less images and then it'll actually process faster afterwards. However, the resolution does suffer slightly. So if I fly at 400 feet, I get 1 inch per pixel, but I've only got 42 images. 200 is actually a nice intermediate altitude, but that's 137 images, a 10-minute flight, and half an inch a pixel. If we come down to a very low flight, say 100 feet, I get incredible detail of 0.3 inch per pixel, but the flight becomes 28 minutes with 487 images. So there's definitely some price to pay for the resolution of 0.3. I know my processing time is going to be increased because of the almost 500 images out there, which is going to be taken. So just for the sake of planning here, I'll use my intermediate 200 feet, which is a nice size. The gimbal angle is the direction that the camera is facing, and in this case, 0 is straight down or nadir. And that's what I want for this one because my end product here is going to be an orthomosaic. The hatch angle is the direction that the drone will fly in. So you can see that I can hatch it in a different pattern depending on the needs of my flight. Also, under the advanced setting right here, I can change overlap and side lap. I found these are really good defaults of 70% and 65%. If you're flying some very homogeneous desert or over water or a lot of trees, you can increase that. But increasing the side lap and or overlap will also directly increase the number of images that will need to be taken. So again, you've got to weigh back and forth the best practice there. The return altitude is the altitude of the drone coming back to me. I don't really need it to go up to 400 feet to return. It's just going to burn more battery, so I can just bring it back at 200 feet. And then the first waypoint, when the drone launches and goes to start this and execute this flight pattern, do I want the drone to go to the furthest waypoint or the closest? I generally send it out to the furthest waypoint, but there are also times when you want it to be to the closest waypoint. And then you've also got a camera mode for light here where you've got regular daylight, low light, or you can do a manual setting. I generally leave all of these as the defaults. From here, I would just click the fly button. As noted, my drone is disconnected, so it will fail on the fly. But to give you a look at the screen, if I press fly, what will happen is it'll go through the aircraft check, a camera check, which especially on DJI drones can take up to a minute. Then it'll check the battery on the drone to make sure that there is sufficient power to execute the mission, and then it'll do a pre-flight check of the drone. You then simply slide the slider. The drone will take off, fly out to the furthest waypoint, and execute the flight plan along those green lines.